It is over both. It is covered in the Quran and the Hadith. And what it's basically saying is
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo sahabat-sahabat muslim yang dirahmati Allah. Jumpa lagi dalam cuplikan video reaksi kali ini, yang kembali saya ingin menampilkan podcast dari influencer terkenal pasangan ini, yaitu Khatam Kelly. Kali ini apa sih yang dia bahas, dan kali ini apa yang mereka kumpas. Tanpa banyak basa-basi, yuk kita simak sama-sama yuk.
This is going to be about the throne of Allah. We're going to find a little more information about that because we really want to know what it is. So how about you guys find somewhere comfortable to sit, get yourself a nice hot tea. That sounds good, doesn't it, Kelly? Because you've been coughing, your voice has been a little, wild lately. So we're going to get you a little tea after this. After these recording sessions, we're going to get you some tea and get you taken care of. So hopefully you guys get some tea, get some cocoa, get some coffee, whatever you like, and sit down and relax, and let's get right into it. Hello, ChatGPT. Now, we did a video where we were talking about and learning a little bit about the throne of Allah. And it was said that one of the angels that is carrying the throne of Allah, you could fly 700 years from his ear to his shoulder. Now, we want to know more about what exactly is the throne of Allah. Is it a metaphorical throne? Is it an actual throne? How many angels are carrying the throne? And what is Allah doing on this throne?
This is a profound and fascinating topic, and it highlights the majesty and transcendence of Allah in Islamic theology. Let's explore these questions based on Islamic teachings. What is the throne of Allah? The throne of Allah, Arsh, is mentioned multiple times in the Quran and Hadiths. It is described as a magnificent creation, symbolizing Allah's supreme authority, power, and dominion over the universe. Scholars have debated whether the throne is literal or metaphorical. The mainstream belief is that the throne is a real created entity, distinct from Allah, that serves to demonstrate his greatness. However, its exact nature is beyond human comprehension. For example, the Quran says, open quote, "His throne extends over the heavens and the earth." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:255. Close quote. This suggests the throne is vast and beyond what we can imagine. Is it metaphorical or physical? The throne is generally considered physical, but not in the way we understand physicality. It is a creation of Allah, and its nature is unlike anything in this world. While some scholars have allowed for metaphorical interpretations to emphasize Allah's authority, the more common view holds that it is a real throne, as described in Islamic texts, while affirming that Allah is not dependent on it. How many angels carry the throne? The Quran mentions angels carrying the throne, open quote, "And the angels are at its edges, and 8 will that day bear the throne of your Lord above them." Surah Al-Haqqa 69, close quote. From this verse, it is understood that 8 angels will carry the throne on the day of judgment. In some hadiths, the current number of angels carrying the throne is described as 4, but this will increase to 8 on the day of judgment. Regarding their size, a hadith describes one of these angels, open quote, "The distance between the lobe of his ear and his shoulder is a journey of 700 years. Abu Dawood, authenticated by Al-Albani, close quote, "This signifies their immense size and the grandeur of the throne." What is Allah doing on the throne? Allah's relationship with the throne is described with the term istawa in the Quran, open quote. The Most Merciful established himself over the throne. Surah Taha 25, close quote. The word istawa has been the subject of much scholarly discussion. Mainstream Islamic belief is that this does not imply a physical sitting or location for Allah, as he is not confined by space or time. Instead, istawa signifies Allah's authority, control, and sovereignty over creation. As humans, we cannot fully comprehend the nature of Allah or his throne. Scholars caution against overanalyzing such matters, as the focus should remain on affirming Allah's greatness and his unique attributes. Does this answer bring clarity? Would you like to delve deeper into any part of it?
Wow. What do you think about that, Kelly?
Yeah, I think it's it does say it's a real throne, so that's interesting.
Well, it said that some say it is metaphorical, some say that it is real. I don't know, is it from the Hadith or described in the Quran? Because it said, let me find out real quick. Really quickly, is the throne described in Hadiths or is it described in the Quran itself?
The throne of Allah Arsh is described in both the Quran and the Hadith. In the Quran, the Arsh is mentioned explicitly multiple times, highlighting its greatness and Allah's authority over it. For example, 1 Surah Al-Baqarah, 255, open quote, "His throne extends over the heavens and the earth." This verse emphasizes the vastness of the throne, close quote. 2 Surah Taha, 25, open quote.
Okay, so it is over both. It is covered in the Quran and the Hadith, and what it's basically saying is it's just emphasizing the authority of Allah, essentially.
Yeah, that's pretty aligned with what I was kind of theorizing, that it essentially, because you think of a throne, right? What goes on a throne? Royalty, rulers. And so that's kind of what I was thinking, something that really truly represents God, and as it described, the authority, the control, and sovereignty, which is very aligned with what you would think a symbolic throne would represent. But I think it's curious that there's 4 angels to carry it, but on Judgment Day there will be 8. I'm actually wondering why that is. I'm curious about that now.
Yeah, that is interesting how it goes from 4 to 8 on Judgment Day. And one of the things that I do appreciate too is that people are actually trying to, they're taking what the Quran says and they're trying to basically figure out the exact meaning of it. And they're even saying, hey, don't focus on this too much, whether it's physical or whether it's metaphorical, because you can't really comprehend it either way, because whenever you start talking about God and you start talking about things that are that level of divinity, you're not going to be able to understand it. You're not going to be able to comprehend it mentally in your mind anyways. So there's really no point in just trying to overanalyze what it is and, what's going on with it. And, because you would think obviously it's Allah. He doesn't need to prove to anyone anything. So but it's just a kind of, humans need to understand. They need to have certain physical things to understand, and certain
things that can relate to what we know.
What we know, like a throne
in our physical reality.
And it just simple things. So you have to just understand that Allah truly knows best and is the best of planners. And whatever Allah says, it's basically, some things could just be for our subconscious mind, so that we understand and we know, hey, this is what it is, and it basically relates that into our mind. So
for sure,
I thought that's really interesting. So definitely thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing the video. And we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all the donations, even if it's 1 penny, 1 cent, $100, $50, whatever it is. It's your hard-earned money, and we appreciate it. And it lets us know that we're on the right path, and we truly need it more than you realize. So thank you guys so much for being here with us, and we'll see you
in the next.
Menarik sekali ya, podcast mereka, Hans dan Kerry ini membahas dari sisi kacamata mereka, walaupun mereka kolaborasikan kadang dengan teknologi AI, ChatGPT, atau kadang dengan referensi dari cuplikan video yang lainnya. Tapi setidaknya mereka berdua pastinya memiliki opini sendiri. Artinya yang mereka kupas, yang mereka bahas itu sebenarnya cukup detail dan tidak lepas dari panduan yang ada dalam kitab suci Al-Quran. Cuma pastinya kan banyak orang yang mempertanyakan ya, khususnya di video atau postingan-postingan sebelumnya yang saya lihat, apakah mereka ini sudah login, apakah mereka ini masih oten. Buat saya sih hal seperti itu nggak penting ya. Kalau saya pribadi melihatnya, mereka membahas seperti ini, pastinya ada ketertarikan. Oke, katakanlah ini mungkin demi AdSense, atau demi follower, atau demi viewer. Whatever, itu mungkin saja bisa terjadi. Cuma problemnya, apakah orang-orang yang seperti ini, dia tidak memiliki ketertarikan? Katakanlah demand-nya tinggi. Kalau memang demand-nya tinggi, ngapain sekarang mereka membahas hal seperti itu? Bahkan mereka terus-menerus mengulanginya dan membandingkan dengan kehidupan sehari-hari. Kadang-kadang mereka kutip Alquran, kadang-kadang juga mereka, ya artinya mungkin apapun bisa terjadi. Artinya kalau misalnya seandainya masih ada banyak yang ragu, ya tanyakan saja langsung ke media sosialnya ya, jangan tanya saya, karena saya sendiri yang mencuplik, mengambil intisari yang baik-baiknya, bahwa mereka mengupas atau membahas sesuatu yang, ya saya pribadi kadang-kadang banyak hal yang mereka bahas, yang topiknya baru saya tahu gitu, karena saya muslim dari lahir juga, nggak sesempurna ya orang-orang yang sudah lebih soleh, jauh lebih memang mumpuni ilmunya. Nah dari bahasan petikan podcast dari mereka yang kadang-kadang mereka jadikan konten itu, ya yang manfaat, yang baik-baik ya pastinya saya ambil. Tidaknya kita belajar sama-sama lah. Kurang lebih seperti itu. Tapi barangkali ada yang bisa berbeda pendapat dari rekan-rekan sekalian, silahkan cantumkan di kolom komentar. Semoga video kali ini bermanfaat, silahkan bagikan jika memang bermanfaat. Dan jangan lupa like and subscribe. Kita berjumpa kembali di postingan berikutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.